2017 Lincoln MKC fuel injector replacement 2.0 4-cylinder. This should be the same process as the 2015 to 2019 MKC. Looks like you're gonna have to take the manifold off. Got some hoses in the way. You got to disconnect the throttle body down there. Here's the fuel injector part number from Motorcraft if you need it, and then I'm gonna replace the manifold gaskets while I'm down there. Remove these hoses. You take this one, you squeeze both ends like this, and it comes right out. For this one, you squeeze these two tabs in together to each other like this, and then that should just come right out again too. And then there's another one down here. Same setup as this plug here. Squeeze it and pulls out. You have this water connector for your manifold pressure sensor. Take that, push this tab down, that comes off. And I think that should be enough. You got this right here too. Disconnect the wire from this little clip from here. Disconnect this here, and then that should be enough to pull it out of the way. And then unscrew your throttle body hose clamp down there, and then that should release that boot there. Actually, another hose thing down here. This little nipple by the throttle body section. You press the two ends together, you pull it out, and then you take the whole entire hose like this and just route it out of your way. Just put it, hang up somewhere or whatever, and then slide that boot. That's probably, take a screwdriver or something if you need to get behind that boot to break the seal, and then that should just pop down, and then this should just come right out. Once you get that throttle body boot off at the bottom, break it loose and just push it down. Come back here, these clips here, all these wire connectors, you just pull back on them. You might have to push down on this tab. There's another one over here, the same thing right there. And then this at the back of the manifold, you squeeze the two ends, you pull back, and you pull this up just a little bit. And then there's a wire right here for your throttle body. There's this red tab here. You push that back, and you push down on the tab, and you just come right out. And that's what that looks like. Got those 5 bolts taken out. Got the fuel pressure sensor disconnected. On this, for the fuel rail, it's a 17mm wrench. You undo that, and then once you take the fuel rail out, that just pops Once you get the fuel rail out of the way, you're gonna want to disconnect these plugs like this. Push down on this tab and pull out. It can be a little bit of pain sometimes, especially if you haven't taken off for a while. Just like that, and then these injectors might be stuck. So what you want to do if they are stuck, just like pull on them and kind of like twist and pull at the same time, and this should just come right out. So once you get those fuel injectors out, what you want to do is take these little metal clips off. They just slide right off like this. Take those off, put them on the new injectors. Make sure your injector ports, where the injectors sit, is nice and clean inside. What you want to do is probably put a little bit of oil on these so you don't pinch your O-ring and tear it, and put them in and put it back in the car. Got the fuel injectors back in. Like I said, put a little bit of oil on those O-rings so you don't damage them, and it's a little bit easier to put back in. Line up these slots to the fuel rail, slide it in, push it into where this metal clip is all the way against this little metal part here, and then you're all set. And then you just put it back in the car and start putting everything back together. Definitely, no, here's the old ones. They're pretty had a bunch of carbon buildup on it, so I would say it's definitely due for injectors, or you could have probably cleaned them, but if you're doing all this work, you might just replace them already. Got that fuel injector back in, bolted up. Got the fuel line nice and snug. Make sure all these bolts are nice and tight. Plug it into all your injectors. Make sure you plug them in and you hear a nice distinct click like that. And then what I always do, just for my own thing, is I always pull back on them, make sure they're nice and secured and have a good connection, because you don't want to put all this together and have that not have a good connection, and you go to start the car and it's misfiring, and you got to take it all back apart just because of that one clip. And then after that, you just pretty much put everything back together the way you took it off. Before you put the manifold back on, I recommend you replace the intake manifold gaskets. Even though they might not look bad, it's just, while you're down there, it's only $15. Why not do it? You just take a pick, pull that out, and you put the new ones in just like that. And I'm also, got everything taken apart, I got the access to the throttle body. I'm gonna clean this throttle body up, because who knows when the last time this has been cleaned. This thing's filthy. Okay, I got the manifold somewhat back in. I got that PCV valve hose connected back to the manifold. Those 2 wire clips that were there, I got those back where they were. Before you bolt this back up to the engine, make sure you get that boot back onto the throttle body. You just, somehow wiggle it up in there. That way you can still maneuver this a little bit. Get that back together. And then from there, you could bolt this back up and start connecting all your clips and wires. I got everything back together here. Just want to double check all your clips. Make sure all your hoses are secured. The next thing you're going to do is go in the car and prime the fuel system. Prime the fuel system. Just cycle the key a couple times. You'll hear the fuel pump kick in. And then from there, you just start it up. That hard start like that's a little normal, still priming. When then you're all set. Thank you for watching.